JMC Production proudly present.
Hi YouTubers, this is John 101. Today we're gonna try to explain you disassemble the weed eater release bracket. And by the way, thanks a lot for all the comments and watching. I'm quite impressed. So okay, we're going to start by disassemble it. So here we have the roller that goes on the wheel. I already unscrewed that one to make it disassemble faster. I've machined that part on the lathe. I took a hexagonal bar, steel bar, that it's about a 1 inch flat. After that, we have a bearing here. Why? Because I'll show you a bit later, because the shaft is actually pretty long. The original parts that goes in it is that part, and you have the square hollow here. It's for the original cable for the cutting the grass. This is not the original screw. I had to take longer ones because of the bracket. We have the bearing here. I'm going to remove it. So we have the crank still working. So what I did, this is the original parts from the weed eater. That's the cable goes to your blade to cut the grass. It's it is tapped on the end here. This is a tap 5/16 18. No, 24. 5/16 24. I removed that one and took a bolt and did the same hole as that one at the end of the bolt here. I don't know if you can see it. I machined the bolts to fit that bearing perfectly. So what happened is that, imagine there is the roller. If you push hard here, you're going to break the shaft here. That's why I had a bearing, and actually what's holding the bearing, it's the plastic. It's strong enough. And what's keeping the bearing on the plastic is that thing. I don't know how you call it. It's a collet. Collet? Sorry, I'm French. So that one squeezed the bearing in place. Secure, super tight. Also, for the cooling system of that motor, there's a lot of people don't actually do a good practice, because they remove this, they remove that plastic to make the motor, you can see the fins of the motor here, to make it, they say it's more cooler. Actually, no, it's not a good thing, because those motors are made to have a fan. This is actually the fan is turning with the motor running. And if you can see it here, the shape of that, it's like a turbine blower. So it's shooting air right here. That's what's cooled down the motor. And that motor is not made for without that fan, because what actually, if you're idling on a red light or whatever, in 1 minute, you're gonna burn your motor, because that motor needs always air. It's made like that. The tin for free air motor are not big enough to cool down by himself. It needs the fan. So that's why it's important to keep all those plastics, and also if you keep the plastic, you keep the crank. And also the air entrance for the blower, it's right here. So if you remember on my previous video, I had this bag, and this bag is hooked up like this. So what I did, the air can go in, it can come out here at the bottom. Oh, I forgot to mention the bearing dimension. It's about the exterior, it's about 1 inch. The width 5/16, and I machined the shaft about where the bearing is sitting. It's in millimeters actually. It's 10 millimeters bearing inside. But it depends. Each weed eater you're going to choose, it's going to have not the same dimension here. So you will have to find a bearing that fits around that one and around that one. Now let's talk about the brackets. Okay, I machined all that bracket, so there is no parts you can get. Few ones I'll show you, but it's mostly handmade with a welder and a grinder and press drill. So this is where it hooked up on the bar of the seats. The seats here, the bars goes down. Always depends the diameter of your seat bars. What I did, I took this is a motorcycle to hold the handle there. I just took that part and take a small angle 3/4 by 3/4 1/8 thickness, and made it's kind of a clamp for the seats bar. So and that system, all those arms are inspired by toggle clamps. I'll put a picture, you can see. It's toggle clamps. It's made for an industrial to clamp parts or whatever, to hold them there. So it's the same principle that is used here. I'm gonna make a drawing. I can't actually make a drawing exact as that, because the distance between the wheel and the bar here can vary a lot. Depends what bike are you using. Also, what I'm gonna draw to you, it's all those distance of the pivots to allow you to make one. Also, I did an adjustment here. Why? Because same things I'm saying, that the wheel is not the same position as the bar here. Sometimes there is the frame of the bike is completely different. So that's why I put an adjustment right here, so I can adjust it perfectly. So when it's sitting on the wheel with the roller there, here actually, to put the right pressure. On my previous video you can see it, I clamp it, and you see the tire, it's going down like about between 1/8 and 1/4 of I press him with that thing, so it grips a lot and don't slip at all. I did those things, those bar, you need them. Why? Because when you're installing it in it, there. If you're only using that, it's gonna spin on the axle of that thing. That's why I added those bars, so you can turn it like that. I have to do long spacers so the bolts that are screwing in it are perfectly tight. Again, I did those ones on the lathes. You'll need a lathe, or try to find some kind of a pipe that you can cut in lengths to fit in those holes. There's a couple of things. It's like the oh wait, this is what's actually moving it with your hand. It's this. I took a motorcycle shifter. It's super simple, and I drill a hole there. I had a little bushing, so it just, you can do any shape you want here. You can take a round bar and bend it or whatever. So I made a drawing that you can see the position down locked on the wheel and the position up, and also this is going to be a drawing, a PDF you will have. It's only to understand a bit the principle of the toggle there, the cam, whatever you want to call it. Also, what you're going to have, it's a drawing that you can print 1:1 scale. What it means is that if you put the brackets just over it, it is exact position of the pivot and everything. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put some darts cross at each pivot, so you can print it and take a flat bar, punch it at the right place. So this is your seats bar, like that. I didn't draw it because if you print it 1:1 you won't see the seat, but you can take a metal seats bar and weld direct two plate like that on it. So I'll let you I don't want to tell you to do every part like it's supposed to, but that's what it's required to do the movement. Also, what I didn't draw is that part with the screw, because what you want to be just, if you imagine a straight line between these two holes, you have to be just a little bit over it to make it locked. If you're not over it, it won't lock. Same thing as that position. This is the position open, close. This is the position up. So it's the same thing. If you draw a line right through that pivot, you see that pivot just overpass it. That's why it's locked on the position up. So that, I don't know, that's the best thing I can do for you for the moment. If you have any question, we'll check it. There's another thing you want to take in consideration. Okay, this is your seats bar. So, and you want, your roller is right here, the motor is there, so you want an offset. Look at it, it goes like that, turns like that. I did it with a super thin tube for lightness, and I made some bends on the press. You need to be equipped a bit, so to be aligned with the bar and like a roller here on the wheel. So it's like that. I'm showing you a different angle for the parts. So that's it about me. I hope I help you. If you have any question or comments, I'm so sorry I don't go often on YouTube, so let me know, and thanks a lot for watching. See you.